It takes 50 hours to go from stranger to casual friend. It takes 90 hours to become a real friend. And it takes 200 hours to become a close friend. This is what Jeffrey Hall, a professor of communication at the University of Kansas, says as he published the first ever study quantifying how many hours and how much time and effort actually it takes to build friendships. And when I first read those numbers, two things happened. I was relieved because I just understood that it's not my fault that it's so hard in adulthood to connect with people as easy as it was when I was younger, when I was in middle school or high school. We just simply do not have 200 hours to give or to share with other people. And the second thing, I started doing the math in my own life, and I move quite a lot. I move like every 4 months, and that's roughly like 120 days. To accumulate 200 hours in 120 days, I would have to spend roughly 2 hours a day with a person every single day for 4 months straight. And now I understand why I only have like 4 close friends across like 9 countries, and why most of my friendships do not survive moving around. Hall surveyed 355 adults who had recently relocated and 112 college freshmen who had just moved to a new city. He tracked how they met and how much time they spent socializing, how much time they spent together, and how their relationships developed over a few weeks and months. And he found quite very specific thresholds. Below 40 hours of spending time together, people just stayed as acquaintances. Somewhere between 40 to 60 hours, they crossed into casual friendship. I would say hi if I saw them, or I would have like a fun conversation with them if I saw them. Between 80 to 100 hours, they became actual friends, and it crossed the line of, oh, I'm just gonna make plans with this person. And only after 200 hours, people report feeling this closeness and being able to call them at 2 a.m. or being able to have a very long conversation with them. And of course, there's a crucial difference between how hours are calculated and like the fact that hours are not necessarily counted equally. Hours spent doing an activity that involves pleasure or like you like doing with each other, not working, not studying, but hanging out, going to a movie, doing some sports outside, or going on a trip, cooking, playing something, going somewhere. These hours build friendships significantly faster than just being in a workplace where there's forced proximity around you. So basically, you cannot snap your fingers and make a friend. Maintaining close relationships is one of the hardest things, but also the most important things that we have to do in our lives. Most people on their deathbeds agree, and this is me citing Hall. So if we do the math of a normal adult life, you work 8 hours, let's say you commute 1 to 2 hours. You handle life maintenance like cooking or buying food for another, let's say 2 hours. You sleep for 7 to 8 hours if you're lucky. That leaves you with maybe 3 to 4 hours every day of doing whatever you want. And this is time competing with your partner, if you have one, with your family, if you have one, your hobbies, your health, your rest. Now, to try to carve 200 hours out of that for a single person, not a romantic partner, not someone that you live with, a friend, someone you actively have to schedule time with. You need to see them every single week for 2 hours, for 2 years. And most adults cannot sustain that with anyone that they're not dating or living with. And this is why adult friendships are absolutely so hard. It's not that we as adults are bad at connecting, and I'm on the very younger side, so for me it's still easier because I still have the proximity of college or of internships, of partying, of things like that. And I do not have a family or other commitments in my life. It's not that we don't want friends or we're not able to make friends. It's that the time infrastructure that we need to build close friendships is completely erased and not built into the system in our adult life. So this is why a lot of people are also lonely and maybe not have many friends when they're getting older and older. This is why you need kids to help you when you grow old and stuff like that. In school, you had 6 to 8 hours of forced proximity with the same people every single day. And some of the activities that you do in school are actually fun, and the breaks are also fun. So you have also quality time spending with those people. So 200 hours, you would spend that in less than like 2 months. The friendship form itself, because that time was built in the structure of your day, and adult life removed that structure completely. And then we wonder why we're lonely, why we have a male loneliness crisis, why whatever. Anyway, that's bullshit anyway. I personally feel like I'm always in the early stages with people. I very rarely actually invest the time into spending with new people and building new connections. And this is why most of my friendships, close friendships, were built when I was either in high school or with my roommates or things like that. I'm pretty good at making casual friends. I'm pretty good at meeting them and saying hi to them and maybe asking them how they are, but not necessarily making plans with them, not necessarily making real friends or close friendships. And of course, I do have a lot of like overnight deep talks with random people sometimes, and that makes the relationship grow faster, but it's nowhere near enough. I realized that those 4 people that I feel deeply connected with in my life, I spent way more than 200 hours with so far. Years of phone calls and crises and going to concerts and dance festivals and working together and studying together and struggling together. And the hours do not have to be consecutive. Like, they don't have to happen in one location. They don't have to happen all at once. They don't have to happen like obsessively with the person. It can be over 10 years of your life. It can be over 10 years of your life that you spend that amount of hours and you still get close with the person. Every single time that you carve out of your day to spend with someone else, it adds up. But there's one thing that I want to talk about that the study doesn't really go into. Why does some people need only 30 hours to become a close friend with someone, and then some other people need 300 hours? And part of the answer is that the type of time that you spend with a person matters way more than the number of hours. Leisure time, so activities where you actually enjoy your time and you're doing some fun things together, that was the strongest predicator of friendships. Work time barely counted. And meaningful talk, the kind that you actually share your fears and thoughts and you go through something with that person next to you, that accelerated closeness dramatically. And I can see it in my life too. I have, for example, one close friend recently that I talked for like, I don't know, maybe 10-20 hours across like 5 days overnight, and we shared basically everything about our lives, and we're very close right now, although we didn't reach the 200-hour level. And the fastest deep friendships that I had in my life were formed where vulnerability happened very early. When someone asked me real questions about myself and I started crying when I asked them questions about themselves, and they started ranting for 4-5 hours. When we skipped past the small talk and we went directly into, okay, so what are you fearing right now? What are you struggling with? Let's solve it together. Because vulnerability is the cheat code. Each hour of vulnerable talk is maybe doing the work of 10 hours of non-vulnerable work hours, boring hours. And the people who are willing to go there early and match your vulnerability from the get-go, those are the people that become close friends in matters of few days or weeks instead of years. So I think like some practical takeaways from this, and that I'm gonna apply into my daily life too. If you want close friendships, real deep, those a lot of hours put into the friendship, you should treat it as you treat your fitness or as you treat something that you're working on and trying to learn, with consistency, with the schedule, with carving out time from your life to specifically build a relationship with someone, with the understanding that showing up once doesn't really do anything, but showing up consistently does a lot. Find recurring courses or contexts in which you can find those people that you like. Context creates proximity, and proximity builds hours of friendship. It doesn't matter what the activity is as long as it's leisure time, as long as it's fun and relaxing. What matters is that it's the same people, maybe same time and location, consistently. Of course, prioritize pleasure and leisure over work, and don't be afraid to go deep faster. I know, like right now I'm in San Francisco, I'm in the US, and it's very hard for people to go vulnerable from the get-go. A lot of relationships and friendships are more surface level from what I've seen, but you don't have to wait 100 hours to have a real deep conversation. You can have that in hour 2. Ask something meaningful in the first hour that you met, and there's really nothing that can happen to you in that moment, because vulnerability is very rarely gonna punch you back. You don't have to trust the person to be vulnerable with them. You have to trust yourself that no matter what they say or do, it's not gonna affect you. A lot of real friendships are built on the cost of presence. And presence is beautiful because you choose to spend that time in your life with someone else, because you just enjoy their presence. And this means that friendships is not magic. It's something that you can control and you can choose and you can carve into your life. Be spontaneous about it, but also have some control over it, because if you like someone, you only need to spend some time with them before you can actually call them a friend. That's all it takes. And maybe you're not fit for each other, maybe you're not gonna hold that relationship over time, but if you spend a lot of time with someone, that person will hold some place in your life for a long time, even if you choose not to continue spending that time with them, in the future. Anyway, most things worth having take time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, and if you did, I'm sure you're gonna like this playlist too. I made a lot of videos about relationships and friendships, and also I would love to continue this conversation in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. I would love to hear insights or like whatever research that you did on this, because I do think that creating a community around having healthy relationships and friendships and understanding what it takes to actually have them and work towards them is so helpful, because this is not taught in school at all. I love you guys so much. Have the best day of your life. Kisses. Bye bye.